1, 2, 3, 4.
It's incredibly cramped.
They were tiny, these rooms. They would hold a bed and perhaps a little washstand and no more. She would come down in the morning to do her work and she would go up at night to go to bed. That would be it. It was just a bed to sleep in, it was nothing else.
Domestic maids like Salomé were near the bottom of the economic and social scale in late 19th century Paris. As well as earning less than other working women, they were often forced to work longer hours and had little protection from abusive employers. By 1880, domestiques also accounted for more illegitimate births in the city than any other profession.
If a maid fell pregnant, I'm assuming that wouldn't be something she'd want to advertise to her employer.
She would conceal it. If she felt she had to say, or if it was particularly obvious, the chances are she would be dismissed. But in this building, she was pregnant, and she was going up and down stairs, and she obviously kept it up as long as she possibly could.
Oh, Salomé, what a life.
Marlowe has been researching what happened to Salomé after she gave birth to Louis in 1877, and has uncovered some documents she wants to show Joe.
18 months later, she's moved along the road from Rue Clausel to Rue Milton, and she has another baby.
Oh, Salomé.
Called Gabriel.
Gabriel, another son.
Gabriel Jean, in December of 1878.
Right. Oh, the name Volant has appeared for the first time because this is the son of Pierre Volant.
That's right.
Non marié, they
Non-marié.
weren't married.
No.
But they were living together.
Yes.
And he's happy to acknowledge the child as his own because he's...
Well, because he said
He
he's
has
the
said,
father.
he has said he's the father.
He's the father.
So I'm liking Pierre quite a lot at this point. Oh, Salomé isn't a maid anymore. She is a couturière.
She is. She's a dressmaker.
So she's gained a man and a profession
Yes.
within 18 months.
Yes, it's not bad, is it?
Good for Salomé.
Yes. And in 1883...
She's married.
That's right. This is the marriage certificate. Now, if you read down, this is the crucial sentence.
By the fact of their marriage, they recognise
Et légitime
and legitimise 4 children,
of the masculine sex.
4 sons she had at
Yeah.
this point.
But when you legitimise them, then they can inherit. They couldn't otherwise. No illegitimate child could inherit.
But I do also notice that Louis alone is listed as Louis Schuch, and the
Yes.
others have all been given the name Volant, presumably
Yes, they
at
have.
birth.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering whether this Pierre wasn't a very decent man who fell in love with Salomé and said, I will assume responsibility for a pre-existing child.
It is possible, and such things happened.
I like Pierre Volant very much. Decent man, did the right thing. I'm quite fond of him now. And so Salomé came from Brumat. Where is Brumat?
It's in Alsace, close to the German border.
And Schuch isn't a typically French name.
No, it's a Germanic name.
Yeah.
And Alsace-Lorraine was always a mixture because it moved constantly between France and Germany.
So she was born on the border with Germany.
That's right.
I found out that my great-great-grandmother was at one point in really, really dire straits. And if there's one thing that's quite clear, this was a woman who was a survivor. She wasn't going to go under.
There is a definite parallel here. 20 years ago I was teaching and writing in my spare time and was very skint. And then not long after that, because my daughter's nearly 18, I became a single mum. So I feel a connection there.
In the early 1930s, Louis left England and his family for good, retiring to the quiet town of Maisons-Laffitte, just outside Paris.
I've always been most impressed with bravery against the odds. You know, bravery when it looks like you're beaten, bravery when, okay, we're all gonna die, but let's go down fighting. And that's what he did.